Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Into the Pit. I have here Frank with Arcane Paranormal Investigations, and he's been nice enough to share some evidence that he picked up at a recent investigation. Something I don't think I've done on the show yet is actually have somebody, explain what happened and play EVPs and things like that. And Frank, just start off. Tell us where you were at and what happened.
Well, we had the privilege of investigating the Webb Memorial Library in Morehead City. It is listed as one of the top 10 haunted locations in North Carolina.
Wow. And you're going to take me when I get to visit North Carolina.
Oh yeah. We're gonna line up some investigations and everything like that. So we'll have a weekend of fun.
Well, Frank here, he shared with me some EVPs that they caught and a few other cool little noises and things. And, first off, let's talk about the typewriter. Now, I've never, ever heard this before. Now, to me, this sounds like something that would be residual. I mean, y'all were there. Tell me what happened.
Well, backstory on the building itself. It was built 1929, and it was the first floor was a medical office. Second floor was a garment factory, training facility for garment factories.
Mm-hmm.
They had it set up like that for a few years. Mrs. Webb, wife of Earl W. Webb, that designed and built the building, the hospital, and everything like that. Patients were complaining the noise was too loud upstairs, so they got rid of the garment factory. They went ahead and put in a 300 book library to start with. And then when their son died, that's when they both decided to turn around and go ahead and dedicate the building to the son. So that's why it's got the name now, the Webb Memorial Library.
All right, so let's take some time to play this audio of the typewriter. It's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before.
Yeah, that building or the room at the time, it was about 5:30, somewhere around there in the evening. The only ones that were in the building at the time was me and my wife. Nobody else was in there. She was upstairs. I went downstairs to start setting up the security system, the cameras and everything. I just happened to have the EVP recorder on me. I walked in the room. I was just talking to the spirits, hey, does anybody want to help me set up the cameras, give me a hand. And then I paused for a little bit just to see what I'd pick up on the EVP recorder. Played it back, couldn't hear it, couldn't hear anything. So we didn't get nothing. And then when I came home, I was just totally blown away that it was a typewriter, a residual haunt, it seemed like. And it's an old school typewriter. You can hear every single key that's being hit. At one point, if you listen real carefully, you can hear the slide go back over to the other side and the person continues typing. And it went on for 15, 20 seconds.
That's nice.
Is what we got on it. So it was one of the best EVPs that our team has ever captured.
Oh,
so clear, yeah. So concise. It was perfect.
Oh, definitely. All right, so let's take a listen to this.
So we can take a picture of you.
Okay, now your second EVP. You got a hi, I am, and I am Mrs. Webb.
Yeah, there was actually two separate EVPs there. One was a male spirit. Mm-hmm. You can barely make it out. He's basically introducing himself, and it says, "Hi, I am." And then the next EVP following that was a shocker because it was actually Earl Webb's wife that came through and communicated with us. And you can clearly hear it saying, "Hi, I am Mrs. Webb."
Oh, crazy. So what was going on when you caught that?
Nothing,
Just nothing, huh?
nothing. Yeah, there was no bumps, no personal experiences going on at the time or anything like that. It's just we were just talking on the EVP, and we throughout the night we just kept asking, you know, the spirits their names, who they are, stuff like that. And that was just one that we just happened to capture.
Yeah, that's why you should always keep those running,
Yeah.
and get a couple of them, you can get a good reference point, and you never know what you can pick up. This is
Oh, yeah.
incredible. This is
Yeah.
incredible. So let's take a listen to that.
You gotta let me know what your name is, though, so I know who you are. What's your name? Are there any boys and girls in here?
All right, now we're going on to a couple of more EVPs that you picked up, and some footsteps. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the footstep part was we heard those all throughout the night, the footsteps. And that was which EVP was that? That was the one with "Get Out of Here," was it?
Yeah, you had one that said yeah, another one
Oh, it
that
was
says who do you think you are, and then you got a get out, and
yeah, the one with the footsteps was you can hear it with the footsteps, and it actually says like whoever this person was walking towards us, and it was like he was stomping his feet, but within the footsteps you can hear him say, "Get out of here, don't make me."
that's absolutely crazy. So
Yeah,
did you actually hear the footsteps in real time, or you heard that when you listened back to your recorder?
we heard them in real time,
Hmm.
but we couldn't hear the actual a disembodied voice or anything like that. But we picked the EDP up coinciding with the footsteps, and which was pretty amazing. It was another good EVP that we caught.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play a bunch of these in succession and the footsteps, and then we'll talk about the next one.
Come forward and tell us your name. Can you talk to me?
All right.
Okay, now something that I really thought was cool was a whistle. You picked up a whistle.
Yeah.
And nobody in the team was, goofing around whistling
No.
while they were working, huh?
Nope. And it was just a really loud whistle, just out of nowhere. I believe that one happened when we were in the kids' reading section in their reading room.
Oh, wow.
So I believe that one happened there.
Now, was that
And,
another one that was just heard on the recorder, or did you hear that one in real time?
well, we heard a couple whistles uh, throughout the night.
Mhm.
We've heard them. So I couldn't really, that was one that we didn't mark down. So we couldn't say if it was disembodied or not. But the way it sounds more of an actual EVP than it did, something being disembodied, captured on video.
That's incredible. All right, so I'm gonna play this a couple of times so everybody can get a good hear. All right, on to the next one. This one says help her. What was going on during that time?
That was pretty good because it coincides with the history and the story of the building.
Mhm.
That all the ones that we captured that had help in it was captured on the first floor of where the medical doctors' offices and everything was, the hospital. So it was a male voice, and in the beginning, he says help, and then there's a pause, and then her. And it was like, you know, it could have been or something residual. It could have been something intelligent. We don't know. Uh, but it seems like to me, it might have been something residual,
Hmm.
like it was reliving its that moment, and maybe his wife or daughter, somebody was in that room, and they needed the help, and he could have been standing out in the hallway, yelling for help, for the doctors or something like that. So that was a pretty good one that coincided with the backstory of the building and everything like that, and where that EVP was captured.
That's awesome. Okay, now we're going to listen to that real quick, and then we're going to go on to what was a no and a yes.
Can you still live here? Can you still live here? Can you still live here? Can you still live here?
Hmm.
Okay, the no and the yes. Tell me about that.
That was oh, I can't remember if it was in the children's room or if it was in the adjacent room when that one happened. Uh, Basically, we were asking a question. I believe it was, did you used to work here? And there's two spirits that came through.
Hmm.
The first one was a male, and it said no. The second one was a female with an accent. So she says "sí,"
Crazy.
and it had an accent to it. So it was, in Spanish, you say "sí," it means yes. So one person worked there, the other person didn't work there. So it's two different spirits answering the same question at the same time.
That was like a gold mine of
Yeah.
EVPs.
Oh yeah.
So, tell us a little bit more about what went on that night. I mean, what was the atmosphere like? Tell us, a little bit more in depth before we get to the next ones.
The atmosphere, it was basically a dream investigation, for a paranormal person. There's nothing in that building that is evil, that is bad, that is malevolent or anything. Everything in that building is good. Every spirit that we encountered was intelligent.
Hmm.
Every single one. Uh, we did hear disembodied voices. We were in an adjacent room from where the children's room was, and three of us are sitting in there, and we're communicating to a spirit, and very intelligent spirit that we're communicating to. And then out of nowhere, both the doors are open, and we can hear kids laughing and playing in the adjacent room, you know, and so that was a good feeling. Uh, we would hear, footsteps. At one point I had footsteps like something was rushing towards me, but I think it might have been something more residual of maybe a doctor running down the hallway to help someone, you know, and I just happened to be in that certain time of the space right there when that happened. Uh, Another good thing that we captured also was we had a security camera facing the stairway.
Mhm.
The stairway has motion lights that light up as you're walking up the stairs. They're about a couple inches above the stairs, just enough to where your feet would light them off.
Mhm.
My wife comes out of the bathroom. She goes upstairs. Motion lights go off from her movement. They turn off. An orb, and I've seen orbs move around before and stuff, on video. But this one came from the basement area, out out through a shut door, turned 180, and went up the stairs. The way it went up the stairs, though, it didn't go up the stairs to where, it floated up 5 feet and then, wiggled around and went up. It actually turned the corner, went up the stairs in the same exact angle that the stairs were. And it went up the stairs. Every motion light it passed turned on
Oh, wow.
as it went up the stairs.
And y'all caught this on video?
Yeah, we had it on video,
Mm-hmm.
but the downfall of that is our hard drive got corrupted on the security system.
Oh, no.
So all our video we were not able to capture.
Oh, man. It seems like you get a place like that and something crazy always happens. That's happened to me a couple of times. And this isn't the first time that y'all investigated this area, correct?
Yeah, that's the very first time that we've been there.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was. But since the hard drive got corrupted and we weren't able to save any of the footage from the security system, we got invited back. So tonight,
Okay.
tonight we will be back in that location. And we got the security system figured out and everything. So everything will be running smooth tonight, and just more video, more EVPs. Hopefully we encounter a lot more personal experiences is what I'm hoping for.
Those are always the best.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
people can debate, what you see on video and what you hear on EVPs and stuff. But that personal experience is, of course you have to be there, but
Yeah.
how do you debate when something, touches you, slaps you across the face and there's nothing around you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, we did the way we ran the investigation last Friday when we were there. We didn't go completely lights out. We left some light on, and but tonight everything's getting blacked out, all the windows, everything, and we're gonna go 100% blackout, and we're gonna see if that might make a difference with the spirits that are there, if they'll be more comfortable coming out in the pitch dark versus just a little tiny bit of light.
Yeah. Well, stuff happens in the light as well as it does in the dark.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that total dark, there's nothing corrupting from coming outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real ideal situation.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The one place we did not investigate this last week was the attic space. So we are going to be investigating that.
Are you gonna like leave one person in there by themselves?
I'm going to try. I'm going to see who's willing to go up there and stay by themselves. But there's no windows in this attic. You can't see your hand in front of your face.
Oh, nice.
So, and the attic space itself is the length of the entire building.
Oh, wow.
So
is there anything in it?
Nothing. It's just
Nothing.
completely empty up there.
Oh man,
So-
get you a chair and sit up there, dude. I'll do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'll probably go up there.
All right, so now let's get on to the next EVP, which you had a couple of them come up. One says leave and one says get out.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised about those ones. Because
you got a couple of those get out of here.
oh yeah, and I think it's somebody intelligent, but I think it was just somebody that just got tired of us talking to them. They wanted to rest. They needed a break or something too. but they never showed aggression against us or anything like that. So those ones I'm not really too worried about. You know, I just take it with a grain of salt.
Hey, well, let's take a listen to them real quick.
I'll come in. I'll come in. I'll come in. I'll come in.
And okay, so we're going on to the next one, which is a help me instead of help her this time.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about that one.
That was the same thing. That was on the first floor where the medical rooms were. And we didn't capture anything upstairs dealing with help or anything. All of it came from the first floor where the hospital was. So it was just another, it could be residual, or it could just be somebody that isn't dead, that don't know he's dead, and he's walking around down there still looking for help.
We're gonna play that, and then you actually did ask that question if the entity there knew it was dead, correct?
Yeah, that was the walkie-talkie one.
Okay.
The one that
Okay.
was very, very intelligent. That individual was.
So we're gonna play the help me, and you had a couple of yeses come up,
Yeah.
and we'll play those as well.
No, it's not on.
Are you at peace now?
You want to mess with the walkie-talkie again? Make it light up?
No, it's not on.
Are you at peace now?
You want to mess with the walkie-talkie again? Make it light up?
No, it's not on.
Are you at peace now?
You want to mess with the walkie-talkie again? Make it light up?
No, it's not on.
Are you at peace now?
You want to mess with the walkie-talkie again? Make it light up?
Do it 2 times. Were you married? 1 click for yes and 2 clicks for no. So you were not married. Did you fight in Germany? No? Were you in Korea? 1 click for yes, 2 clicks for no. So you were in Korea. Were you a Marine? Were you a Marine in Korea? You were, okay. Did you die in Korea? 1 click for yes, 2 clicks for no. So you died in Korea then, huh? Is it because you died that you weren't able to get married? 1 click for yes. Yeah, okay. Do you know that you're dead? 1 click for yes, 2 for no. Were you in the Army? 1 click yes.
Okay, so the ones we just played, the yeses, what was going on there?
I don't remember. It was just the EVPs that we picked up. That was it. You know, it wasn't really so much direct questions or anything like that. You know, it was just yeses that came through. You know,
Well, I'm going to ask you about the walkie-talkies. Now, a lot of people can scrutinize this.
yeah,
That somebody else could have had a walkie-talkie on the same frequency. Which, I mean, how many people really use walkie-talkies that much anymore? Unless
yeah,
they're cops or public
yeah.
works firemen, something like that. But there was no one else around that could have been using a walkie-talkie to key these mics.
No, we only had 2 walkie-talkies on location
Mm-hmm.
because of the size of the building. That's all we needed. Uh, the walkie-talkies themselves, I've used on the West Coast for desert racing. I did desert racing on motorcycles and stuff on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But we registered the channels and the frequencies with the FAA. No one else has those channels. We're the
Okay.
only ones that have them. Uh,
That takes
I
out
did-
any doubt whatsoever.
takes out any doubt. Now, the video I posted, I did a live video with this also on Instagram, I believe it was, where I put both walkie-talkies next to each other, and I turned one of them off, left the other one on, and had the EVP recorder right there. We were asking. It first started downstairs, and then it moved upstairs. So
Okay.
this spirit followed us from downstairs upstairs. We asked very blunt, direct questions to this individual. You can hear on the EVP where we were letting him know every time what to do, you know, whether to make the walkie-talkie do 1 click for yes or 2 clicks for no. We asked questions like, did you die in Germany? Because once we figured out it was a service member, we started asking detailed questions.
Right.
We asked if he died in Germany, and you could hear it 2 clicks, and he responded no. And then we asked, did you die in Korea? Were you in the Korean War? And you hear 1 click, clear as day. So he was a service member that died in Korea. Then we asked, were you a Marine in Korea? And you hear 1 click, clear as day. We also wanted to just see if it was someone else we were talking to, or what, just to narrow things out. Then the follow-up question was, were you in the Army? And you hear 2 clicks for no right afterwards.
Wow.
So it was a very intelligent person. We asked its age range. Were you 20, under 30 years old? And you hear 2 clicks saying no. Were you in between 30 and 40 years old? You hear 1 click, clear as day. We asked if he was married. He said no. We asked, were you going to get married after the war? You hear 1 click, yes. So
Amazing.
It was a Marine that died tragically in Korea that was in between 30 to 40 years old, was planning on getting married, but he wasn't going to get married until after he came back from Korea, which he never made it back from Korea. He did work at one time in that building.
Oh,
We
incredible.
don't know. Yeah, we don't know if he worked on the first floor, the second floor, or anything like that. We didn't even ask those questions. But he did respond that he did work in the building. Another funny thing is my wife left her walkie-talkie upstairs when we were downstairs communicating with the spirit the first time.
Mm-hmm.
She came into the room because she was like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. she went into the bathroom. I told the spirit, I said, hey, follow her in the bathroom and go mess with her, pull her hair, do something, you know. And I go, don't worry, you know, we'll be here when you get back. We're not going to go anywhere. And then you hear the walkie-talkie, 2 clicks for no.
Well, at least he's respectful.
Yeah, you know, so tonight, if the same thing happens tonight, we're going to reverse it, and we're going to send one of our guys into the male bathroom and see if he responds and goes into that bathroom with that person.
Hey, we're going to hit the head. You going to go?
Yeah. You know, so maybe, you know, and plus too, you think about it, the era and that time of when this person was alive, they respected the women, and they didn't, you know, he probably found it insulting of me telling them to go in the bathroom.
It's quite possible.
You know, he could have, you know, so, you know, it's just one of those eras, one of the times and stuff like that. So, but tonight I'm going to bring, since I was prior service in the Marine Corps, I'm going to bring a couple things tonight as trigger objects and see if we can get a response from that individual again.
Well, that's
with
going to be
trigger
awesome.
objects. Yeah.
You got to do me a favor. If you get any more evidence, you need to come back and share it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we'll do another interview where we can share all that with everyone.
Oh yeah.
Because this place sounds like a gold mine.
Oh yeah, it is.
So yeah, you know, it's going to be a little ways down the road before I can actually get that direction. But our plan is to go out there, and I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. Excuse me, ahead of time, so you know, we can go with you and maybe capture some stuff on our own.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm going to a location that I'm trying to get into. It's a pretty hard location, but it has a bunch of history. It basically has all the history of North Carolina in it.
Oh.
All the way from current stuff, all the way back to as late as 1600s, 1500s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has a lot of history. It is a haunted location. The location that we're going, the library, I've researched it. I tried finding videos online, everything like that, of paranormal teams, because it doesn't matter what paranormal team you are. If you have something, you put it online. Everybody sees it. You know? Yeah. And the only thing I found was from 10 years ago. So it could be that we're the first group to investigate this library within the last 10 years. We're not 100% sure on it, but as far as what we've found online, people we've talked to, it's kind of going in that direction. So yeah, it was pretty cool walking into a place that hasn't been beat up by other paranormal teams. You know, because
those are some of my favorite places when you go where not a whole lot of people have been to. Because you know, you got to imagine when you have teams that are just constantly going in somewhere, and you know the spirits can be like, "Look, we're getting fed up with this garbage." You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. And then plus, you don't know some of the teams. You don't know. You don't know who they are.
Well, you don't know how they investigate. Yeah.
You know, all it takes, you know, at this location, it takes one knucklehead to walk in there with a Ouija board and start messing with the Ouija board. And now you have something malevolent in there. You have something bad in there.
Well, you don't know if somebody's come in there and has been disrespectful and, you know, just really annoyed the spirits.
Yeah.
I try to be as respectful as I can when I go somewhere and I'm talking to these spirits, because I mean, they're already in torment. You got to figure, because they're stuck here.
Yeah.
And if you constantly get berated with that, just total disrespect and all,
yeah,
it kind of ruins the location. At least to me, it does. I could be wrong, but to me, that's the way I feel.
Yeah, like some of our future locations that we're going to, you know, we're going to be hitting the Devil's Tramping Ground up by Siler City, North Carolina.
Wow.
It's a patch of land that they brought out geologists, all these different people with these big names, did soil samples. Nothing grows in this patch of land, this circle, nothing. And it's been like that from, the time the trees went up in that area. Nobody knows why. No one has an answer. Scientists don't have an answer. Story is that you light a fire in this circle and the devil comes out and tramps around this fire and dances. A lot of people's captured a lot of good stuff out there. People sleeping in their tents, the wind ain't blowing, and their tent starts shaking. Or disembodied voices getting touched, objects moving, stuff like that. So it's a place where a lot of people have went. It is a place that's been beat up by paranormal teams. There's probably satanic rituals out there at one time.
Probably.
So that's going to be one place where we investigate. The Mako Lights in Wilmington is going to be another place we'll be looking at. Story behind that is a guy was walking down the train track with lanterns trying to flag down a train to stop, and the train didn't stop, ran him over. So train tracks aren't there anymore, but you can see the cut through the land and the trees and everything of where the original tracks were. They say that when you go out there, you can see a guy standing out there on the train tracks with two lanterns in his hand, and people's actually captured him. The lighthouse at Cape Hatteras.
So y'all are not too far from the coast, right?
No, I drive 10 minutes and I'm at the beach.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you, not to stop you in the middle of your story, but y'all should have a lot of pirate stories and stuff around there too, as well, right?
Yeah. There is one location that it's an ongoing investigation that I'm working with the town hall with the historian down there. My son captured a picture of an apparition in this location. It's one of two things. One, it's either the ranch hand that used to work on this plantation, or two, it's a pirate. You can see the hair, the face, you can see the black trench coat it's wearing. You can even see the boots that are cuffed, colonial style boots, pirate boots, whatever you want to call them. They're cuffed on their feet and stuff. So that's one picture that we've captured. People's called it a pirate. The historian looked at it. She said it looks just like what the ranch hand manager of the plantation back in 1850 time frame looked like. So it's a pretty good location out there that we're going to. We don't really give it out because there's already a few people that know about that location. So we're trying to keep it quiet. I don't have people from out of town coming in and, screwing the whole scene up down there.
I can understand that.
We have cemeteries, that date back to 1600s out here in some locations. We have another location we're going to be investigating that we got a report on of a slave cemetery from the 17 to the 1800s that is hidden out in the woods. So we're going to go out and find that location and investigate that site also. We also found a site that was a bivouac for the Indians from around 1650 to about 1750 is when they occupied that area. So we're going to go out there and investigate that place too. So there's a lot of history, a lot of stuff. Just about anywhere you go in Eastern North Carolina, something's haunted just because of the past. We had the Native Americans that were here prior that got pushed out with bloodshed. We had the Civil War that happened with a lot of bloodshed. We had plantations about every 20 feet out here, with slavery. You know, we have a bunch of different stuff out here. The one thing that I'm going to start doing is following the slave trade. I want to get documentation from investigations on the Underground Railroad for locations that were used in the Underground Railroad, abolitions that took the slaves through the trails of the Underground Railroad. So that's something I'm researching right now that I want to start investigating to put their story together.
Yeah, the history alone is fascinating.
Oh,
That's my favorite part of investigating is getting the history. But we're gonna end it here, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. So if the people really like this, maybe we could start making this a regular thing where we can get your evidence on here and share it out.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a lot of evidence on a hard drive from past cases that I was involved in. Some of it I got to get permission from the people that are on there,
right?
Because of how sensitive some of the material it is.
Of course.
I got plenty of EVPs, pictures, that I can put together of stuff that we've captured. I can even bring in other people, perhaps the historian, to talk about certain things in this area too that she knows that I don't even know.
Right.
And get her involved in it and stuff like that, because our area that we're in, there are other paranormal teams, before we came along, that's been here 10 years, 20 years, stuff like that. But a lot of their stuff is so outdated, they quit doing paranormal.
Right.
So there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered in our area. And the one EVP that I really want to get was Blackbeard pissed off that his head got chopped off and put on the end of a boat and sailed back to Virginia?
Oh, crazy.
That's something I really want right there. So that's my end goal this year, is to get an EVP of Blackbeard himself.
Well, I look forward to seeing this evidence. And, Frank, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing with us. That really means a lot to me, and hopefully it means a lot to our viewers. And so I'm going to ask the people that are watching this video to please not only like the video, but get on here and comment. Let us know what you want to see. If you're enjoying this and you think this is a great thing and you want to see more of it, let us know. So, we can talk Frank into doing this more often.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then just have them check us out on Instagram at API1264. Same tag for Twitter and Facebook. I kept it simple. So yeah.
Tell us that one more time.
It's API1264.
All right, everybody, you heard that? Go check them out, follow them. And I look forward to hearing from your investigation this evening.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Keep me in touch, and I appreciate it again, and I appreciate all of you. Please like, share, subscribe, get the word out there. We got some great people that come on this show, like Frank and his team. And if you haven't already, we did an interview with them before. He had a couple other team members, and please, they're Arcane Paranormal Investigations. And I want you to check out that interview. Thank you again, sir. And till the next one.
Till the next one.
Paul boy.
Thank you for joining us on Into the Pit. Please follow us on Facebook at the Vibes Broadcast Network and Instagram at the Vibes Broadcast.